PrintQuote Pro is a label designer for printing consignment notes, product labels for jobs and labels for client mailing. First, we'll open a job for which we wish to print a consignment label. Then we go to the Quote Text tab, to the Delivery Instructions section. And here is where we can choose a product type. So we need one for docket books. So we go Add Product Type Code Details. We type in the product title and the code, and then we can load a picture. Click Save. Now we have to save the job record. If we try to print without saving the job record, it will give us a warning that we need to do that. So we have to save the record first, and then we can go to the label designer. We have a number of items here. We got a 3-line toolbar. On the first row we have Save, Open, Save to Database, Open from Database, Print, Preview, Delete any selected items, and the arrow to select. We also have Help here. On the second row we have objects we can place on labels. We have text. We have the ability to add two texts and add them together. Paragraphs. Here we can add objects, barcodes and text. This is for a barcode, horizontal barcode. This one's for a PDF barcode, and then we've got a two-dimensional barcode. We can draw lines, rectangles. We can insert symbols. We can insert tables, graphics and pictures, and also draw layouts. We also have a section where we can add a question, so that as each label is being printed we'll be asked to enter information. So you can manually add data as each label is printed. Then we have the layout of the page. By clicking on a different label we can cause the printer to print from this point on. So if we have a sheet that's only got 3 labels left, we can then click on the first of those 3 and it'll automatically print from there. Here is where we add the database that we're going to use for this particular set of labels. Here it's the jobs. We also can change the size of the label for ease of editing. The next row we can choose the printer, we can choose the font type, the height of the font, and the style of the font: bold, italic, underline, and the colour. Down the right hand side we have alignment features, so we can align any objects on the label. We have cut and paste, undo, we can also trim lines, and here we have some editor options. We can show the grid or not, we can cause a snap to grid, we can make it snap to lines, show marks, and show the alignments. Here is where we save and add labels. We can delete a label by selecting it and clicking on Delete Label. We can display all the labels by clicking All Labels. We can clear label objects by clicking this button and clear the label completely. We can save this label so that it'll be save the modifications, or we can save it as a new label, which will create a completely new label from the one that's already there. When we select objects on the label, the properties will appear in the side column here on the left. Position, whether it's to be printed, whether they're transparent, margins, if it's an element of the database, we have the fields of the database when the database checkbox is selected. We also have the height of the text, the font of the text, and the style of the text. And also there's formatting. And it can be rotated and aligned. We can have shadow colour, border colour, radius, pen width, etc. So each object has a set of properties which we find down the left hand side there. If we go and preview this label, we've only got one label because it's for a job. We can magnify that by clicking on the magnification glass, and we notice it's loaded the details, the title of the job number, and the delivery address. This hasn't had an invoice printed, so there's no invoice number for this particular job, and there's our product barcode for docket books. So we'll go back to the clients. And we'll select a number of clients. And we'll go to the label designer. So here we have a blank label. So we'll put some text on this label. We can change the height. It can be a database field, which will be the company name. And then we'll put the delivery address, which is going to be a paragraph. We'll make that a database object as well. That'll be the delivery address. And we'll change the font size. And we'll move those into position. We can have snap to grid there, so that then we'll lower the grid size. So they're both aligned. Now we'll save it as a new label. And there we have it there. They're all labels. We've now added a new label. That's our blank template. And here's the label. We'll now go to the preview, and we'll see there's our 3 labels for the 3 chosen clients. Now, if, for example, we had a sheet and the first 3 labels had already been used, we can go here, choose the next row, and then when we preview, we see it started printing the labels on the next row. If we go and select more clients, for example, go back to our label, choose our client label, we'll go and preview the label, and we'll notice here that many of them haven't got their delivery instructions. So they haven't got a delivery address. Some of the labels don't have delivery addresses, but some do. So then we can print the labels from here simply by clicking on Print Label. And we can save it to the database. And we click Done once we've printed our labels and we're finished.